Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We rented movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained as pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the favorite bit by bit. Sweety and Sweety are here to say it's the Large Marge Santa's podcast. Hey.
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Santa's podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweet sisters talk about their favorite flicks from childhood. I'm Sweety with a Y.
And I'm Sweety with an IE.
And tonight we did Ahoooooooo. It's Teen Wolf.
That was our shortest. You know what we always do, like crazy, like
I thought I'd
ramp up to this, but you just went for it. I'm so proud
to the chase.
of you.
I
to the chase.
wanted to do the werewolf call, because I like werewolves. I think they're pretty cool. I like werewolves. I like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
This combines both.
Let me tell you guys, feel good fucking flick. This is a sweet little movie. It's like sweet. Isn't it just like sweet? Don't you just want to like hug it and kiss it and be like, you're a sweet movie?
I know. I want to hold its hand and talk to it and be like, okay, can we go back to the two like really undiscussed plot points here that are very bizarre, which we'll talk about. But I think it's I've never seen this movie. Surprise, surprise. Of course, in true Sweety fashion, before we even started, like the credits were rolling, Sweety goes, "Oh, wait, his mom's a werewolf too? Oh, wait, no." Like, Sweety, shush.
I don't remember you saying you hadn't seen this film. You suggested we watch it.
I said it today when we suggested we watch it. I said, I've never seen Teen Wolf. Maybe now's the time.
Okay, I didn't read that part, I guess. We're doing this when I'm at work. My mind is in 20 different places. Hello, not my fault. Yeah. I've seen this movie a couple times, maybe like two. I never rented or anything, but I think it was on TV a couple times, so I like stumbled upon it. But it's definitely one that's sort of like in the pop culture like 80s wagon, let's say. If you saw like a wolf dressed in a basketball player uniform, like you'd probably know it was Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
and you've never seen this movie, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
But this is weird. Look at my notes.
Whoa.
I wrote Back to the Future. That's weird. This movie is from the same year that Back to the Future came out, so 1985. And fucking Michael J. Fox, busy fucking dude. Remember? Was it this one or the sequel? Maybe it was the original one where we said that Michael J. Fox was also doing Family Ties at the same time, and he would have to do like this crazy shooting schedule because he had to like film Family Ties during the day and then he'd have to like shoot Back to the Future at night. So the guy was like fucking busy because he's doing Family Ties and then he had this movie and then he had Back to the Future. So you know what? And he should, because I love that little nugget. He is such a sweet, great little actor. Oh my God.
I just want to fold him up and put him in my pocket.
And you really can. I mean, in the first scene when he's like naked in the locker room.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Oh my God, his body's like the
body
body of like a
really,
10-year-old.
It's compact.
So
he's like, do, put you in my pocket.
I fucking
take
love
you out
him.
whenever I'm sad.
So that's great. So good to see him. Miss that bitch. But Michael J. Fox did not like this movie. He was embarrassed by it. And he was like so bummed he had to do it, and he signed on for it.
It's a little embarrassing.
It is a little embarrassing, and like, he ended up getting the blockbuster of Back to the Future trilogy movie after. But I guess he was quoted as saying like, Steven Spielberg's making like epic movies down the street, and here I'm doing a movie about like a werewolf. So I think he was like a little embarrassed.
There's good werewolf movies. I think this is just not a good movie. Like,
it's fine.
I get what you're saying, that it's sweet, but like, I think it's pretty bad.
This movie is essentially, even though Teen Witch came after this, Teen Witch for boys. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's just like a lot of weird editing. There's cheesy things. I don't know. It's a couple weird messages that I'm not sure how to decipher. I'm pretty sure one of them is it's okay to be a werewolf, but it's not okay to be gay.
Oh, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
And also, like, my big question is, Why wasn't anybody shocked that he was a werewolf?
Well,
Is this just a town with werewolves in it that people are just know about? Because the whole family is a werewolf and like no one seems to fucking
I don't
care.
know. Is it an allegory?
The guy shot the mom and like nobody fucking cared.
That's what I'm
Dude,
talking
that's
about.
murder. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know. And then
I know
mean,
this
maybe
is Nebraska.
Maybe that's the thing that is just a werewolf town, or maybe it's just part of the thing to not care. It's part of the comedy to like just be like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that was part of it. That it was just like, what? I feel like there's another movie like this where something comes out about somebody and people are just like obsessed with them, and they think it's so cool, but it's like kind of weird. Everybody to like
Sure.
you. But
Yeah.
like into the movie world, everyone's like, this is the coolest, and like women are attracted to it, and you're like, what is happening?
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll ask this question later. I'm going to save it.
Okay.
But
is the question, would you have sex with the wolf?
Stop! Don't even. Why are you ruining it for
I have
everybody?
the same question.
Shh, quiet.
Right here. Would
No,
you do
mine's
the
a little
wolf?
bit more specific.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's about wolf penis. Just kidding. It's not at all. Though maybe I'll add that to the notes. I'm kidding. Yeah, but I think this is a sweet movie. It is totally bad. It's not a great movie. Michael J. Fox, you should be embarrassed about it. But it's like sweet and it has a great ending. And I think like a good message for the ending for sure. Teamwork, guys.
Don't
Basketball
have to-
doesn't work without teamwork.
And you don't have to. There's other ways to win besides being a werewolf.
Yeah.
You can just be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't leave your werewolf pubes everywhere.
Ew.
That kept happening. Every time we turned
I
into
don't
the
think they
wolf,
were
there was like
pubes.
one
It was
piece
just
of
his
long hair
hair.
stuck
They're not
in the
pubes.
sink. I know. I was using that word, but it's
Don't
incorrect.
use that word. Especially after we just talked about bagel pizza pubes and she's all that. Ugh.
Do werewolves have hairy penises? Yeah or nay?
The whole thing is hairy. It's
What?
it's like an animal. Like an animal has hair all over itself, and then the lipstick comes out, and that's the penis. It's out.
Oh,
it's out of the
God.
hair. It comes
my
out.
mom listens to this podcast.
I don't care. Oh please, you've said worse. Okay.
Okay. It's. I'm just jumping into it.
Okay.
We're just
Not messing around.
we're not messing around. No intros today. It's time for the Sweety synopsis. Yeah.
Sweeties.
I am an animal. Whoa! That's a bad wolf call.
Wow. You're like, wowee.
Ow!
There we go. There we go.
That was rough.
That was hard.
Sorry, guys. Forgot what a wolf sounded like.
Well, we don't have them.
Ow.
They're not very common in Boston. So
I was like, woohoo!
I know you were.
It's a party wolf. Woohoo!
Okay. Scott Howard is a teenage boy living in Beacon something, Nebraska.
It's Nebraska, but let's be real, it's California.
Yeah, there's palm,
There are palm
there's
trees.
there's palm trees.
And, like,
Gross
those,
oversight.
Those like houses, like not adobe. What are those Spanish roofed houses or something that are basically like in California?
Yeah, sure.
I just paid
Yeah,
attention.
but it's supposed to be Nebraska. And Scott's on the basketball team. Here's the thing about the basketball team. It's not very good. Their highest score is like an 11, and they play all these other teams, and they suck, and they're getting pushed around a lot. They're pretty much the worst of the worst. But
say their name is the Beavers.
no, the Beacon something Beavers.
What a bad mascot.
It's not great, and they're played against other teams that have like cool mascots,
mascot
like
names.
the Dragons. How come nobody's the Dragons?
I don't
And
know.
for
That is
reals,
really
that
good
should be a
team
real.
name.
I mean, that's a real team. That should be
I
a real
know, I
team.
love
name.
that.
It's great. Someone do it. And yeah, so Scott's going through some changes. And we don't really get introduced to it seems like these changes have been happening for some time, and he's just kind of adapting, and like it's just getting weirder.
Yeah.
I got that sense. Like I didn't get the sense that the growl at the basketball game was the first time that the changes happened.
Yeah. Well, like, what do you think is, like, what would start the change? What is, like, when is wolf puberty? Because how old is Scott supposed to be?
When you turn into a man, I think.
But isn't he, like, a junior in high school?
I don't know. 16,
Like,
17?
he's
I
gone
don't know.
through puberty, hasn't he?
Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
When
He's
do guys
very
go
small.
through puberty? He is small. I think he is delayed. And that's why the dad was like, oh, I was, like, waiting for this to happen, kind of.
Don't spoil it. So, so he's going through changes. He's not sure about it. He's got a big crush on this dumb girl named Pamela who sucks, and then his friend Boof, which is a cool name that everyone says a million times. The beginning of this movie, he literally says her name maybe 20 times. He goes, say Boof, blah, 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 blah. Boof, listen, Boof. Like, if this was real life, would you say someone's name repeatedly when you're talking to them?
No, not at all. But like, it's so I guess that is based on whoever wrote this movie or the director or something, his like real friend in high school. So that's pretty cool. Her name was like Chrissy Boof, like Thompson or something. I don't know. So that's pretty cool. But like, what is that from?
What?
They're like, it was her real name. I'm like, that was her middle name?
I think it's her last name or something. And they call her Boof.
Okay. Well, it's pretty cool. I'm going to say. There's crazy nicknames all in this.
Yeah.
Everyone has a nickname. I love that about the 80s. Hey, Chubbs. Hey, Styles. Hey, Boof.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be Chubbs, but hey, take
he
what you can get.
Chubby.
So
he was chubby and he liked it.
So Boof likes Scott, but Scott, in true 80s teen comedy form, she's invisible to him because all he cares about is Pamela and her blonde hair and her little nose,
pink
and
fluffy
she's
sweaters.
I'm such a okay. So sorry, and I was gonna say slut, but listen, I'm not gonna slut shame. Do what you want.
She can do what
It's
she
fine.
wants, but she's pretty loosey goosey with
sucks.
commitment.
Let's be real. Yeah, she's no commitment whatsoever. So one night, Scott's changes go a little too far.
Well, it starts at basketball, right?
Well, yeah, he growls at someone.
Yeah.
He has like one weird, sketchy long hair on his chest that he yanks out, and it's like really gross. He's got his ears get pointed, and then at one point he just grows a full face of hair and body hair, and he's full wolf. He's full wolf. So he's freaking out. He's in the bathroom at home, freaking out. And his dad's like, Scott, can I help you? And he's like, no, Dad, go away. And he's like, trust me, whatever it is, I can help you. No, Dad. Like, ew. Like, did you, like, it was, I know, like, what actually happens, but was his dad like, is he jerking off? Or does he have diarrhea? Like, it could be one of those things. So he's like, fine, Dad, I'll open the door. So he opens the door and looks right at his dad, and his dad's a fucking wolf, too.
His dad is the cutest wolf I have ever seen. Like, I don't even know what that was, but it was
like
not a wolf.
extra
it was adorable.
fluffy
He's
and
so
sweet.
fluffy and sweet. Oh my god, I love
Yeah, I
him.
want to take him home, too.
It's such a cute little scene. I
So
love it.
turns out both wolves run in the family.
What's up with that? I thought you had to be
So
bitten.
listen, the dad says don't pay attention to those movies. That's all like gibberish, whatever.
Okay.
So I guess they're making their own wolf canon here. Unclear rules on this kind of werewolfism. It seemed like it was related to the full moon at first, but then it turns out you can just turn whenever you feel like it.
Maybe that's why his had to start on a full moon, that he could like be able to do it at all. But the main thing is that they can control it, which is like a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
And way too convenient
Wolf
for this
power,
movie.
yeah.
Because I like didn't remember that about this movie. I thought it just like came up like at certain times or only lasted like a certain cycle. But it's controllable in a sense that he can turn it on kind of whenever he wants. But the anger thing is one that he can't like control, right?
Yeah. Seems to be the gist.
So if he gets really angry, he'll turn to the wolf, that sort of aggressive, whatever you want to call it. He'll turn into the wolf.
Yeah.
But he can do it, I guess, just like, oh, I want to be the wolf today, and just do it.
Yeah. So at first he's like pretty upset about it. And he's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then one day he turns into the wolf in front of his friend Styles, who's like the cool guy, but not the cool guy.
No.
I'm confused about his character. It seemed like everyone loved him, but then it seemed like everyone else hated him.
Yeah, that was weird.
So I don't know which one it is. But Styles,
He was like the not cool guy with confidence or something,
But
Like,
everyone seemed to love him at the party later when he was like emceeing the dare.
yeah. So like that, like almost like class clown.
But then the ladies are like all over him. So
Well,
it's
he had like
I
an
don't get
entourage.
it.
He always wore funny shirts that has funny sayings on them. He always wore funny hats. He's like a funny hat guy. He's a funny sunglasses guy.
He's funny everything guy.
Yeah.
So Styles thinks it's pretty cool that his buddy's a werewolf, and he's like, "This is great." And then Scott's kind of like, let's just keep this between us for now. And then cut to another basketball game when there's a crazy a ball on the floor, jump ball. People are trying to get it. And he growls and then turns into the werewolf in front of the whole school. And everybody's like, oh my God. Everyone's a little scared at first, but then he starts doing his thing. And turns out Teen Wolf really good at basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the wolf magic? Is it the wolf swagger? What is it? Like, why is he just all of a sudden great? Is it a confidence thing? Like the wolf gives you like confidence? I don't know.
Well, remember the dad does give this lecture about with this comes like great power, but also great responsibility. And it seems like the wolf makes you be able to do things like better than everyone else, let's say. So like, I mean, that goes to playing basketball, to being a ladies' man, to being good in school.
To doing handstands and flips on top of a moving truck.
So it's like he can just do everything well. You become suddenly this like very multi-talented person. Cool. Very cool.
Do you think Justin Timberlake's a werewolf?
What? Right?
He can do everything great.
Triple threat. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to use this to my advantage because poor Scott always felt like a loser. He didn't feel like he was good at anything. And like really he is, but I think it's just like he doesn't have any confidence in him. So basically what the wolf power does is give him a lot of confidence. And he is very good at basketball and he starts winning the basketball games, which is like a huge thing and will in most 80s movies make you really popular.
And he is. And the ladies love him. Pamela starts paying attention to him all of a sudden. She is like getting undressed in the dressing room after the play.
Don't worry. She gets him into the school play. Big deal, guys.
So, wait, hold on. My question is, who else is in this school play?
Know.
It's just her and then the creepy director and then
Scott. It looks like a Gone with the Wind
I think it's Gone with the Wind, okay. But there's only 2 people in it. I don't get it.
What was with that?
Yeah, it's really, really weird. But she like strips off her clothes and seduces him, and then he has sex. So he does the woo for real. And woo,
you're
and
an
then
animal.
Boof is sad. She's like, I wanted him, but unlike most 80s teen movies where like the friend gets denied and then she's all sad about it for the rest of the movie and you feel bad about it, but not really. Boof is like, listen, bitch, like I want to take my man, and she doesn't give up.
Yeah.
Boof is my new hero.
Yeah.
She is my new inspiration for life.
Totally. All
I'm
you girls who are
her.
in love with your best friend, who's a guy or a girl, whatever,
or whoever you're in love with,
as your playbook.
Yeah,
because Boof never fucking gives
never
up,
give
guys.
Up. Never give
like,
up.
She gets rejected, and it's like it didn't even happen.
Yeah,
she just keeps trying. Again. I know.
She's like, let's make out.
I'm so proud of her, and she seems like a really cool girl. First of all, they seem like have adorable friendship. I love her style. She has a sweet haircut. She's super fun with the dad too. They have like fun little rapport.
It's a match
Boof
made in heaven.
Is awesome.
She's the best. She's the fucking best. I love her.
I want a Boof movie.
Boof wolf.
Back to Boof.
Back to Boof. Good one.
Where is she now?
So he's living the life. His dad gives him the lecture. Listen, I saw you doing handstands on the truck. Like, tone it back, buddy. Tone it down. And he's like, shut up, Dad. And he's like, listen, let me tell you a story about one time me and your mom were like made for each other. And then this other dickhead, aka your vice principal, tried to get her, and I freaked out as the wolf.
So there were like 2 werewolves in this town?
I didn't know who was more scared, sweetie. Him or me. Good. Powerful stuff.
Because he was scared of
He was scared of his own power and anger. And Scott was like, yeah, whatever. I gotta go. So, yeah. But then, some weird things start happening. This Mick character, who is Pamela's actual boyfriend, who she never stops being his girlfriend, by the way. It's really weird.
That bowling scene was fucked up.
He gets really jealous and he punches Scott at the dance. And then Scott like kind of flips out and gets the anger and gets a little scary. And everyone's kind of like, ooh.
And they start to turn on him. And there's
like,
this really horrible scene where everyone starts calling him a freak and stuff. And like he gets like really uncomfortable and then realizes that, well, maybe being the wolf isn't so great after all. And that really isn't the person who he is.
That's not who he is. So he decides to, so the big basketball game's coming up.
Making a musical out of
and they're playing the dragons again. And don't worry, Mick's on the dragons. Who can I talk to about adjusting the temperature in the gymnasium? It seems very hot.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure what it's about, but I think someone needs to go in there and
like,
help.
have you ever seen you listeners at home, the movie Airplane, where like the guy who's flying the plane at the end is like sweating profusely, and when they have basically this like device where it's just like basically like raining on his face to make it look like he's sweating so much. That's what was happening to this Mick guy. It was like so much sweat. I've never seen more sweat in my life.
It's pretty gross.
I mean, I know he was fouling like it was his job.
Scott was sweaty in the beginning, and like it's just everyone always seems very sweaty.
Just hot. It's a hot gym.
Fucking hot gym. It's a sauna. And so final game, Scott walks in as himself, and he's like, we can still win. I don't have to be the wolf to win. And they're like, yeah, okay. But they do it, and then all of a sudden they're great. They all have wolf power. Because, I don't know why.
Well, previously also the basketball team kind of turned against him because what happened was that he was so good that basically he was just hugging the ball the whole time. So while he had this confidence, it also led to like the too much confidence, which made him be like a ball hog.
Hubris.
Too much hubris. So everyone hated him, and it was, basketball is a team sport. You can't just...
There's no I in
There's
team.
no I in basketball. Is there? No. I had to think about that.
Nope.
So they were kind of turned against him, and he realizes, like I'm just me. I can't do this alone. And then it becomes these, great passing things. What do you call that?
Yeah. A lot of passes. A lot of good passes.
My
in this
boyfriend's
game.
going to be so mad at me. I don't know any of the basketball terms, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's they suddenly know how to play like a team, and it's great. And even Chubbs is like
Chubb's
really good.
Hitting the three pointers.
He's great. He's doing a great job.
He's throwing the 3 pointers with one hand.
I know. I know. Because they're not real. It wasn't real. It was really crazy.
You know what else wasn't real?
What?
Michael J. Fox playing basketball.
Yeah, hilarious.
As the wolf.
Yeah,
Sorry.
as the wolf. It's actually pretty genius because you don't have to worry too much about stunt doubles when you're in full wolf costume, except if your stunt double is like 20 times bigger than you are, and you're like, why is that wolf so big? The basketball stunt double, good times.
The wolf basketball stunt double was pretty amazing.
He was
Anyways.
good though. He's good. Good for him.
So guess what?
Oh yeah. So what happens?
So he gets fouled a bunch of times. So they get to within 2 points of winning, and then that dumb Mick guy fouls him again, and so he has to hit 2 free throws, and so he gets one in. It's like and then they're tied, and then he's just got one more.
Historically, Scott is not good at the foul. Foul.
He's horrible at basketball. He was horrible in basketball in general. And he makes it.
He fucking makes it. They win.
Crazy. And then he's like, see that Pamela girl comes up to him being like, oh, yay, now you're a champ again. I'm like going to like you. And he just walks right by her, doesn't even acknowledge her, and goes to make out with Boof, which is really awesome. So everybody wins, you guys. And like moral
Especially
of the story,
Boof,
just be yourself.
Just be yourself. You don't gotta be a wolf.
You don't gotta be a wolf.
Just be yourself. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So when he first turns into the wolf at the basketball game, everyone seems very scared. The refs are like, oh God, I guess the game's over. But then he starts playing basketball really well, and everyone's like, oh, okay. And the ref's like, cool. Keep going. Like, game's still on. What? I think the other weird message of this movie is it's okay to cheat at basketball if you're a wolf.
Why was he cheating?
Because he could jump and like soar through the air.
That's
and
not
like
cheating.
he had all these wolf powers.
Yeah.
That's basically, it's not fair. It's not him playing. It's like in Buffy the Vampire Slayer when the guy's a vampire and the ref's like, Coach, we can't have this. You got to take him out of here. But it should have been that.
If like your wolf, essentially that's his natural talent. Like he just has that.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's
is.
wolf power.
The wolf is in him, so that's like
not
his
an
natural
even playing
talent.
field. I think it's cheating.
It's not cheating.
We should have a debate about this on social media, so come to find us and talk about it. Yeah, so that was another question I had. The other theme of the movie.
Good one.
Okay, so 2 weird things. Number 1, Sweety already touched on this. Crazy Mick has this crazy scene where he's like, listen, I've seen your kind before. I shot your mom in the head with a shotgun when she was stealing the chickens out of my backyard.
What?
And we're like, what?
Murderer, first of all. Okay, so this leads me to believe that, first of all, Mick is from another town. So remember, he goes to a different school. But I'm assuming that these are like nearby towns who just have their own high schools, right?
There.
Yeah, and he's always around. He's like always at the school. I'm like, go to your own school, buddy. So this leads me to believe that like there is some sort of like general knowledge that there's these like werewolves in this area or something. Because you do know that the mom is dead, but you don't know how.
They never talk about why.
And this is
she was a werewolf.
Okay, is this why, or is that him just saying that he has shot like a wolf and just trying to rev him up to make him believe that it was his mom?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I don't know, but
I think that's what it was. I don't even think that
What?
was really. I think he was just trying to rev him up and be like,
how many fucking werewolves are there?
no, that it was just like a dog or a wolf that he shot trying to steal the chickens. It wasn't necessarily his mom. He doesn't know, but he's like trying to make him believe that that's
what
how
is
his
this
mom died.
rumor about werewolves stealing chickens? Why is that like the go-to? Scott says that too. He's like, I gotta go steal chickens at night. Like, what is that?
But like
the werewolf
they
thing?
don't make any mention of his mom dying tragically with a gunshot to the head. So like I'm assuming that that's not how she died, because else I feel like they would have like.
I hope so, but it would help to clear it up.
Yeah.
Movie.
That was weird.
Weird. Second weird thing. There's this other friend named Lewis who, when Scott turns into a werewolf, he gets like really weird about it, and it makes me think like, is he like against gay people? Like it's like like a thing, like you come out as something and everyone's like, ooh, it can't be your friend anymore. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
And then it was weird. So the whole movie he's being weird, and they never address it except for one time when Scott's like, he's being weird, right? Yeah. And Styles is like, no. And then they just shake it off. We never revisit this again. It's very bizarre. What happened
Maybe
there?
He had a run-in with a werewolf one time.
Maybe a werewolf killed
him out.
his mom.
Maybe. I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, is he a werewolf?
Sweety's like, there's who is a wolf? She's trying to guess all the wolves. Is Boof a wolf?
I think there's a bunch of different werewolves that haven't come out yet in this town. I'm just saying.
Ooh, yeah.
And they do, as Sweety says, sort of equate being a werewolf to like coming out of the closet, because there's a couple an out of the closet joke when like he's doing we'll talk about this in a second, but this like crazy party they go to, and he ends up doing 7 minutes or is it 2 minutes?
2 minutes in the
minutes
closet.
in the closet. 7 minutes in heaven, whatever. That like party game when you're like making out with somebody in the closet. Anyway, so when he comes out, his friend's like you're out of the closet or something like that.
How does it
right?
feel? And then in the garage, Styles is like, what? He says, I have to tell you something. And he's like, what? Are you the F word? And he's like, no, I'm not a F word. I'm a werewolf. And like his friend's like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
It's so, really weird.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, totally fucked up. Which also, I thought Styles was definitely gay.
I know.
He's definitely gay. Whatever.
He was in the closet.
Who's in the closet now, Styles?
Well, that's that thing that sometimes happens when you overcompensate, when you don't want people to know that you're gay. So you're just like, make fun of everybody else, even though you're
homophobic, and you're like, but you're the one.
Yeah.
You're the one.
Yeah. So that was like kind of fucked up. That should not be a thing ever. I agree. Okay.
Yeah. Good times. But when all these weird things are happening, I feel like he doesn't come to the werewolf conclusion very fast, like not until he's like a wolf. How long would it take you to like decide that you were a werewolf if things like that were happening to you, do you think?
Well, okay, so let's go over like the different changes and when I probably would know. So the first thing that happened is this growl. Like he just growls at someone during the basketball game. That's a little weird. Probably never growled at anybody. His eyes turn red. So there's this really great scene where these guys, as high school kids are obsessed with getting a keg of beer to bring to a party. So they try to go to this one liquor store, and of course you need an ID. They don't have one. They think they just waltz in and like ask for beer, and they can't. So he goes in and he like gets his kind of he's getting angry or nervous or something. And when the guy's like, listen, Sonny, if you don't have an ID, like you can't get this beer. And he like his eyes turn red and his voice gets really low, and he's like, give me a beer. Give me a keg of beer now. And some of these things.
What were those things?
I don't know. Donuts or something.
Oh.
So that happened. So that's a little freaky. He gets that one hair in the basketball locker room.
And
super
I think he's
strange.
just like hair. He keeps talking about like a rash he has.
He has a rash.
Which we never see. So
his ears get pointed when he's driving the car. That's kind of strange. And then the nails come out when he's doing the 2 minutes in the closet.
Oh yeah, the nails
with Boof, and they're making out. Oh, and he gets really aggressive when they make out. So I don't know, he's like turning into an animal, and then like makes him more aggressive. And he's like blah, and like kissing her all wild, and she's like, you're hurting me, and then like slaps him. But then she comes out of the closet, and her whole shirt is torn up the back, and there's blood on her back.
It's a crime scene.
I know.
It's terrifying.
And she didn't even
she didn't even
flinch
care
about that.
She
She's
still loves
obsessed
him
with them.
Yeah, it's the wolf pheromone.
Okay, so I guess it would be the nails for me, maybe, or the ears.
Not the ears.
Maybe the ears.
Wow, I got these elf ears. No, I would know as soon as the hair thing started happening. Like, that's
one
fucking
hair?
weird. I'm sure there was more hair. He just seemed to be getting like hairier. There was one in like all of his hands were covered in hair briefly for a minute. I just feel like we're the people that are like, oh, I have a headache, I have a brain tumor. Like, I think we would figure out. I feel like we would know it was a werewolf a lot earlier. Like, I'd be like, what is the coolest thing that could happen to me? Cool, this is it. Like, I'm a werewolf.
Oh yeah.
Blah blah blah. He just took a little long. Oh, but also, why didn't his dad tell him? Like, I'm just very like,
because he thought it might skip a generation, as it sometimes does.
Still, I think we can like just so you know. And also, why doesn't Scott know his dad's a werewolf?
That's my biggest.
But
question.
if they can if he can control it, I guess he didn't need to turn into a werewolf. Like, I think he just turned on purpose to show Scott that he was a wolf.
But
too.
I think the dad should have explained that.
I think somebody should have explained.
Like, oh, like you didn't see us be a werewolf for 16 years of your life because we could control it. But like the dad never got angry.
But
and
when we had
like
sex,
symptoms.
I turned into a werewolf. Definitely, like,
right. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just when you make your own canon, I feel like you need to explain a little bit more, and they really didn't do a good job of that in this movie for sure. And maybe like you don't have to if you don't want to get really, because was it really about that? No, like they were obviously taking using that werewolf as like a metaphor for something else.
Yeah, but it's not like a werewolf is like a new thing. Like it's a tried and tested like movie subgenre of monster.
Well, there was
movie.
a lot
like
of werewolf movies came out at this time.
I know, and so that's why I especially feel like you do need to have some kind of faux science to back it up.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, so many questions. So many questions.
All right. Are you more attracted to Michael J. Fox more or less as a werewolf?
Okay. I think Sweet Scott is the sweetest. I want Sweet Scott all the time. I don't like Cocky Scott.
Yeah,
that includes Wolf Scott, and when Scott's not the wolf but he's still cocky, so it's like Cocky Scott. There's like Sweet Scott who's doesn't really have that much confidence. He's kind of like bumbly. Oh my god, I loved him.
I know.
I wish he would come back. I'm more attracted to that. I mean, maybe Cocky Scott I would have
Could you
sex with.
see why like the girls or Pamela essentially was Pamela like just attracted to his like swagger and that confidence, or because he was popular?
Probably both.
Okay.
I can't really see why they were I wouldn't be like, yes, want to have sex with the wolf. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not attractive to me. I'm not into that.
I try it for kicks.
I mean, it's fine. He's basically a person. It's not like he's like more animal than man.
Really hairy.
Probably
aggressive in the sack. That's true.
Yeah, those nails. Whew.
Ouch.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I wouldn't do it. Would you?
Yeah.
No. Oh, you just said you would, just to see.
Gotta try anything once. Wolf sex. Ow. Okay. What about that like crazy coach guy who seems to be a famous part of this film?
A famous part? Like
everyone likes him.
Oh, well, she's like a kooky coach. Like there's this like kooky coach trope where like the coach maybe doesn't know anything about whatever sport they're coaching. He has a couple weird habits. One, eats a hard-boiled egg on the court like before a game. Just kind of like throws the shell on the ground and is like, now I'm eating this egg. Very upsetting. He gives Scott some strange advice when Scott's like, no one likes me on the team anymore. And he's like, listen, let me tell you something. And here you are thinking like, oh, he's going to give him like the there's no I in team lecture, blah, blah, blah. But no, instead, he gives Scott 3 simple rules to live by. What are they, Sweety?
Never get less than 12 hours of sleep.
That's a lot of sleep.
Hours.
Too much sleep, really.
That's awesome.
I think that's
way too
half
much
a day.
sleep.
That's half a day.
That is nuts. I'd have to go to bed at 6 p.m. to get up at 6 a.m. That's a lot of sleep. I should try it for a week and see if it changes my life. Never play poker with a guy with the first name of a city. Good call.
Okay.
I like that.
Seems kind of rare, though. Like, I've never really met anyone. No one's name is Boston.
Florida.
Boston?
Wow.
Alexa just chimed in. Alexa, shut up. Sorry. Alexa, I didn't mean to be that rude. I want
maybe
her to do
like
things for me later.
Paris.
I don't know that.
Austin, Francisco. Does that count if it's Francisco and not San Francisco?
Dakota?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a state.
Houston. Do you see that one? That's a good
I
one.
said Austin.
Dallas.
Austin, Dallas.
All the Texas ones are kind of like names. Anyway, good. Yeah, that's good to live by. I'll remember that one for later. Never date a woman with a dagger tattoo. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure these are all just things that apply to his life that he thinks that Scott can use as well, which really he can't. But there's something weird about that guy.
And then there's the weird story he tells in the beginning when he's about to quit the basketball team. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember this guy who was going to quit the basketball team. His mom, like, didn't have any legs and he, like, needed to work. And I was like, hey, buddy, like,
Wait,
you can't
she
quit.
had legs. I thought she was just sick or something.
No, it was some, like, sad story. And then, like, I don't know where it goes. But then Scott's like, wait, well, what happened to that guy? And he's like, oh, yeah, he quit the team. Didn't matter. He was third string anyway.
Yeah, that guy was funny. What a strange
That was kooky.
dude.
Yeah.
That was funny. I also want to talk about the weird dare game at the party.
Oh, yeah, no, I want to talk about the party. Oh my god, I love the
Okay,
party scene.
so-
I love 80s party scenes
80s
so much.
party scenes, wow. What ragers, first of all. Holy crap.
Again, another
Whose
instance
house
where
was that?
I used to watch these movies and be like, yeah, high
Can't
school's
wait
gonna
for
be
parties.
awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait to like walk into a party and be like, hey, there you are. Can I have a chip? Thanks. And then like keep walking. No, parties aren't like that.
And there was like 12 kegs of beer there.
There was so much beer. And it was just funny that guy, that Styles was like killing himself to try to get one. And they already had like 20. Way to go. So Styles all of a sudden turns into the MC of the big dare night, which, okay, so they put all the girls' names in a hat. All the girls are holding a piece of paper with a boy's name on it. So when their name gets pulled out of the hat, they say whose guy's name they have on the paper. And then Styles seems to have pre-curated a bunch of dares for people to do. It's like a game show. I'm not kidding. He's like, okay, who's next? Rhonda, here's what your dare is.
And first of all, there's this woman in like a corset getup, like holding the hat, like she is on a game show. Like, who was that girl?
I don't know.
Why was she wearing that?
I don't know. That's what I said. So the first dare we kind of miss. We don't really know what it is, so we're kind of just left to guess, much like everything else in this movie. It's just two people on the ground covered in whipped cream tied together in their underwear, and they have to like get out of the rope. I don't know.
seems
I
awful.
think that's the dare. So they're struggling the whole time. I don't think they can get out. No one's going to help them. It seems like it's a dire situation. So another one is he's like, Chubbs, you have to eat this whole bowl of green Jello, and I'm gonna dump it in this girl's shirt. And then he like sticks his face in her boobs, and it's like, okay, that's fun.
she's enjoying it.
It was weird. And yeah, the weird thing is like everyone's enjoying it. Like everyone's like, yeah.
Even Boof is like, this is great.
And then
Like,
reason
so
number 20 why Boof is the best. On her piece of paper it says Malcolm, which
Who
who
is
even
Malcolm?
who even is Malcolm? I don't know. And then she gets called and they're like, whose name do you have? And she's like, Scott. She's
so wily. I love it.
And then they go, their dare is kind of dumb in comparison to the other dares. They have to go in the closet for 2 minutes, which I always feel like is a stupid thing because no one knows what you're doing over there. Like nobody can see that. It's stupid.
Though it is funny because the scene I just described was when he like turns into a wolf in there, so he's like all aggressive. So she does come out like her hair like totally fucked up and like her shirt all ripped. So people are like, yeah,
Like, got it on.
Yeah.
And then
you missed the couple who changed clothing.
Oh, and then a couple had to change their clothing. You know, it's like MTV Spring Break. We were talking about that last time. Like it seemed like also a show that we saw on MTV Spring Break. Do you remember the one on MTV Spring Break where there was like a Volkswagen Beetle and they like had to fit like a bunch of naked people in it?
No.
All right, forget it. But yeah, so that's the game. Wild.
Yeah,
Wild stuff.
That was awesome. I love party scenes. They're so fun.
Did anyone have Styles' name? No, because he's gay, and this is how he's like, oh, I'll be the MC, so I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, totally. Who's a hoot? So there's like a lot of random people from other movies in this, of movies that we've covered, which was like a fun game to like see. So obviously the best one I think for us is Francis. From Pee-wee's Big Adventure, plays Chubbs, a big part of this film. He's a central
He's like
character.
the third best player on the basketball team.
My favorite thing is when he picks little Michael J. Fox up. I mean, it's like adorable.
he's a little
like
guy.
a little pooper.
Yeah.
Little
And it's
squirt.
refreshing to see him as not Francis, as a bad
Oh yeah,
like guy.
Yeah, that guy has
You're
range.
like, oh look, you're sweet.
It's just like in League
of Their Own.
League of Their Own. Stool Angel.
Duel Angel.
So good in
Yeah.
that. This one was random and like we need medals for like discovering this. Roger Podacter, guys, from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. 25 years. Okay, no, maybe 10. When was that movie?
97.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
10 years younger.
Wow.
That guy does not. Was
He
not
should do the
looking
10-year
great.
challenge.
Yeah,
Facebook
holy
challenge.
shit.
Let's see that one.
But it's his voice. You're like, oh shit, that's Roger Podacter as the coach of the Dragons,
Yeah.
right? Coach
Yeah.
of the Dragons. Very cool. If everyone remembers, if you listen to our Flight of the Navigator podcast, it's a really good one, BTW. The younger brother Jeff, who we thought was like really hot, is the quiet friend in this.
Quiet Weird Lewis, who
Yeah.
has a problem with Scott that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So wait, when was Flight of the Navigator? 87, maybe. So like 2 years. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
boys mature quickly. Like one day they're
Yeah, so
teeny
he was
and then he's
younger in
sprouted.
this, and then
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But I recognized his
Younger
face.
brother, older brother Jeff. That's what's confusing about Flight
Right,
of the Navigator.
right. Oh man, good flick.
And this one is like super random, but again, gold medal for Sweety here for being like, I know that kid's in something. So in the beginning, this is another thing that like shows he's turning into a wolf. He works at his dad's hardware store, which is like, do you remember those hardware stores that were like hot messes? They're always like really like, it looked like a hoarder lived there.
They still are around. I don't know why you're talking
Yeah.
like they don't exist
It
anymore.
was basically like what this was. There's just like shit
There
everywhere.
any like mom and pop
Yeah, mom and pop
hardware
ones.
stores?
There's just because they just have like all this crap, right? Like they sold in this particular hardware store, they sold orange juice in cartons at the front counter. That's weird to me.
It's
Real
very weird.
Anyway, so this kid is blowing a dog whistle, and you see Scott being like, and like finally figures it out. That kid is the kid who mows the lawn and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids that they like flip out on, where they're like, stop! He has the headphones on. He like can't stop. Tommy or whatever,
Ugh.
like he does it because like Nick pays him or
Yeah.
something. Awesome. So those are really fun because it was like 80s
Yeah.
movies, 80s movies.
Also, any of you Full House fans out there, Scott's dad is Mr. Malatesta from Full House season 2 or 3 when Jesse and Joey work at the advertising agency. Just a hot tip. That's another one that I spotted. Not a big deal. And there's just some other randos that like a guy in the basketball team is in Can't Buy Me
Jerk and
Love.
Can't Buy Me Love. Yep.
I think the another guy on the team was someone else too, but I forgot to look him up.
Oh, one of the guy who was like the good player
Yeah,
on the
him,
team who got
yeah.
injured. So I looked. He was like on Desperate Housewives, like for the whole run. He was like one of those.
That's not
guys.
what I was thinking, but
Maybe a
okay.
soap opera as well. Yeah. Anyways, good times.
Familiar faces. It's good to see
Yeah, we haven't
you.
done that in a while. I love that game. It's when you watch a lot of these movies, you're like, wow, there's a lot of the same people in these movies. So let's like close possibly with some fun chatter about the 80s references. Things that make this movie so 80s. So 80s.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't really paying attention. I mean, the fashion is the
Yeah, I made a
the
list.
biggest thing is the fashion, right?
All right, I got it.
So
You can just go off on these when I tell you.
okay,
Purple sparkly eyeshadow.
okay.
It's all the girls
Was
had
Boof
that.
wearing that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Boof had one like whole entire purple outfit. Like I think was the 80s very like monochrome.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it was.
Just love that. She had like purple pants, purple sweater, purple shoes.
She had this
purple
crazy
socks.
in 2 different colors, crazy sweater vest like thing. I don't even know how to
It looked
describe
like a penny. She was
Yeah.
playing basketball with the dad, and I was like, "Where'd she get that penny?"
Yeah.
Also, does she need one?
Right.
They can't figure out they're on different teams.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, loved it.
Pamela had a bunch of fuzzy pink sweaters. That was like such like an
yeah.
80s hot girl thing.
Yeah.
Like they always put her in like the sweaters and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wagoneer, station wagon style.
Not just that, but convertible one.
Yeah, the vice
The
principal.
vice principal has a convertible.
Man, I miss that wood panel. You know, like, so we had caravans growing up our whole lives. That was like our family.
We
you
never
know,
had the
wagon.
wood panel.
But I always was jealous of the
What?
families that did.
I didn't like it.
I liked the
thought
wood
it looked
paneling on the
weird. I thought it was
side.
cheesy.
It looks so
Looked like
homey.
the Brady Bunch. I was like, oh, it's stupid.
I love that. But those Wagoneers are fucking funny, man. Jean on Jean. So Mick, that's basically his main costume outfit. Different, but you know he did it right because he did different jeans. He had like a dark jean on the bottom, light jean on
go
top. So
Mick.
good Mick, you know.
Even
you
though
know the
you're
rules.
racist or homophobic or something.
Crazy weird house parties.
Crazy Weird House Parties. I mean, that's like every teen movie, but yeah, the 80s seemed like a all out like hell part. Like, wow, it's hell in there. Like, what is this?
It seemed nuts. I've never been to a party like that in my whole life. Saggy bikini underwear. Okay, this is really specific, but it just like really hit me when the girl's in the dressing room and she has this like 80s style. It was like bikini, so it was like a thin part on the side, and then it was like
high waisted bikini brief.
Yeah, and then so the front like covered you, so it wasn't like super sexy, and so it was but it was very high cut. But then that made them like really saggy bottomed. And like she obviously is like no butt. So this is probably part of it too. But I remember those as well. If you ever wore those, because they were so high cut, the bottom was always so like saggy.
Why did they make those?
I don't know.
We're like, this is great.
Because it's just like that high cut leg line, I guess.
It is of the 90s, those, 80s, 90s, yeah.
Friend zoned BFFs. So we kind of mentioned this beginning. That's like a super, and I hate that word friend zone, and it works out for Boof in the end, again, from persistence and perseverance. But that was just like a lot of plot of so many 80s movies where you had the best friend, Ducky. There's others. No, there's others. There's one. What is the one with Eric Stoltz and Leah Thompson? Some Kind of Wonderful. It's like a John Hughes one that not a lot of people know. That one.
Wait, they were in a movie together and he was originally Marty McFly?
Yep.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Totes. So I feel like that's like such a common theme, which is pretty cool. Hot girl who doesn't like you. Or hot boy in Teen Witch.
Well, right. And I'm thinking of like, now I feel bad that we were so mean to what's his face in 16 Candles, because he was basically Boof in Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. How we were like, get the hint. She doesn't like you. And we were like, he's harassing her.
Yeah.
And now we're like, oh, Boof is cool. I don't know. I feel weird now. I feel like it's a weird double standard. I mean, it's usually the other way. So whatever. We can have this.
But it's like, I don't know. I feel like deep down he did really like her, because he was just under that like, and she knew it. She knew that he liked her, I think. But he was just under that like hot girl, popular girl spell of Pamela, even though Pamela kind of sucked. I mean, she was fine.
No, she didn't. She sucked. She was not fine.
No, but she wasn't like that hot girl who had like no personality. I don't know. No personality.
I mean, she didn't really.
She seemed fine.
Okay. All right. Team Pamela
she
over
had
here.
Commitment issues. That's all I will say. I mean, the bowling scene, again, I think is so fucked up. Because like who knows? I guess they have sex in the dressing room after school.
I think it's implied.
It's debatable. But then... And then he's a wolf, and then they go bowling. So you're like, oh, they're together. They're like kissing like a couple would. He's teaching her how to bowl. And Mick, her boyfriend's there. And then so of course Mick gets mad, but like you don't know that they're still together. So you're like, that Mick's such a dick. But like Mick had a point. Like that was still his girlfriend.
Well, yeah, and she clarifies on the way home. But he used to be your boyfriend, right? No, he's still my boyfriend.
That is
like
some
what?
Sketchy,
See?
next level
Psycho.
Popular girl shit. I mean, that's the scary thing though about when you have that level of power, I guess, as like a popular hot girl. Never had it, sorry. That you can just do that to people. That's like fucked up. Don't do that, guys.
Don't do it.
Don't use your power. See, you can make a whole nother movie about that. That was like her Teen Wolf. That was her power.
Nice. Anything else? 80s.
Banana clips.
Wait, what's a banana clip?
Big earrings.
Oh, it looks like a banana.
Yeah.
I got it.
Big earrings.
Side ponies.
Weird
hair accessories.
Weird, those really outdated cheerleading uniforms from like basically the
skirt was
50s
so
that they still use them.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably other things.
Sure.
A mean vice principal who has a grudge. What's up with that? I'm like, are you Strickland or what?
I think he was the principal though.
Strickland.
But Mr.
No, that guy was the vice principal.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
But not Strickland was the
Strickland was
actual
the principal.
principal.
Yeah.
Mr. Bone and Doug, vice principal.
Isn't that a thing though, that the vice principal is in charge of like discipline or
I
something?
think that's just from like Doug.
No, I think that's how it went in our school too. Remember, like Mr. Conrad didn't really do that kind of stuff, but it was like Milbier and Markovich who did like all the busting.
Yeah.
Busted.
Yeah, probably got paid way less too, whatever. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, good times. Good little stroll. Sweetie thought it was time to go back to the 80s, so we did.
I love 80s ones. They're fun. They're a little out of our, range because, again, we were babies / maybe not even born. Sweety wasn't. 85. I was 2. What up? So yeah, it's fun. And like we said, I'll say it again. I'll say it for the rest of my life. Michael J. Fox is a gem. I love him so much.
I love him.
He's just so great.
He's just so sweet.
He just makes me so happy to see on screen.
I know. Miss him. I mean, he's still around, so it's fine. He's great. He's doing well.
He's doing
good.
well. He's doing well.
But we love you, MJ, the real MJ, and of my heart anyway. Yeah, love you. So cool. Do you guys like Teen Wolf? Is it your favorite movie about wolves? Also teens. Come and find us on Twitter at the Sweety Club or on Instagram at Large Marge Sent Us. Thank you, as always, for listening. Bye.
Bye. Ow.
Ow. Wee woo.